Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be a little update video on the ripple effect quilt. This video is a long time coming and I really do want to apologize that it has taken this long to really get to this video. Okay, but first of all, I would like to thank all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate that you have taken the time to hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate every one of you. We have our little visitor here, and she's coming to say hi. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of like hop right into it. And you can see here that I am doing some vertical line quilting on the ripple effect quilt. And I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see it without me holding up the quilt, but I was having a lot of issues trying to quilt this on the embroidery machine. So what I did is I tried doing it on the FAF machine, and for my workspace, I don't have a lot of room for the quilt to kind of lay out around the embroidery arm and the unit and everything, and I was having a lot of issues with the magnetic hoop separating, and I ended up, let me show you guys here. I'm gonna, hopefully you guys can see all this. You can kind of see where I kind of got it a little, oh, that was where the straight pin was, but that'll wash out, those holes will disappear. And then you can see clear to this point over here. Hopefully you guys can see all that, all this stitching. And see how it's like all over the place? So in between this line and this line is where I was supposed to put the first design, the stitch out design. And what was happening with this particular quilt is it's just too heavy. Like I said, I had it here on the FAF machine, and the dime magnetic hoop I was using, I think I have an older model, and I think the magnets aren't really strong on it for a quilt this size. The new embroidery hoops that are magnetic now have a lot stronger magnets on them, and the one that I was using for this design just did not work for me because the weight of the quilt was popping up the top of the hoop. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Let me grab that really quickly. Come on. Okay. So this is the hoop I was using, and I don't have anything at all against dime magnetic hoops. That's what this one is. This is the Dime Monster hoop, and I'm not sponsored by them in any way or anything like that. These are expensive hoops. If you have them, you know. When this was my very first magnetic hoop I ever purchased, and I bought it used for, it was around $75, and then the shipping, I purchased it on Etsy or on eBay because at that time I did not have the money to buy a $200 hoop. And if you buy the brand new ones, they can be pretty expensive, and they're expensive for a reason because they work really well. And I just think that this one is an older model. They have since redone the magnets. They look to be strong, but when you have a quilt layered and you have it in the machine, and if it hits on anything, I need to put my protector here in between this, but if it hits on anything, what happens is if this part of the quilt, is the bottom part, is being pulled down any while it's in the machine, the hoop lifts and kind of starts separating and coming this way while the rest of the hoop is moving. And guys, I'm not going to risk a $2,000 sewing machine. to quilt this quilt. I can't do it. I did buy my FAF machine used off of eBay, and it was a very, very big investment for me at that time, and still it would be a big investment. So what was happening, like I said, it was lifting, the hoop was separating while it was in the machine. So what I did is I then went, let me put this hoop back, and I'm going to grab another one, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so this one, I probably won't get it all in frame, so I apologize for that. So this hoop is gigantic. So so this portion from here to here is 21 inches, because at the half mark it's 10 and a half. And then 12 and a half from the other side to the other side. So let's see, 12, 24, 25 by 21 inch hoop. And this hoop is for my multi-needle machine. This is the only hoop that I can really do a full-size quilt on, because the way these brackets attach to the machine, it allows the quilt to come up and over the arm of the machine. So I had 2 edge-to-edge embroidery designs stitched, and when I went to go do the next one, the weight of the quilt was pulling, because let me show you guys here. Can you guys see these? It's just attached into the machine with these little screws on the arm, and it's not made for a heavy quilt like this. Sure, it's a multi-needle machine and it's an industrial machine, but as I was starting on the next third design, I noticed that the arm of the machine, that kind of the frame floats back and forth, and then there's a mechanism that goes forward and backward. So when it started going backward, I was hearing almost like a pulling kind of sound on the machine, and what it was, the weight of the quilt was dragging down this hoop, and it was putting too much pressure on the hoop for my machine. And that machine, with shipping, everything, I paid $3,500 for it. So it's not going to be, I'm just not going to risk damaging my machines. So what we're doing, we're just going to finish it straight with some straight line quilting. I'm going to move this one and put it back. Give me just a moment. I'm going to turn my upper light on here. It's really hot in my room right now, so I am going to turn my fan on. So sorry if you guys hear a little bit of a buzzing. It's just really hot in here. So like I said, I'm just going to be doing some regular straight line quilting, and maybe you guys can see that here all on the back. And sorry if it's the lighting's kind of washed out. It's a really weird day and really windy and kind of overcast, and then it goes to bright. So my lighting's kind of wonky. But we're just going to be doing the quilt in straight line. And then I am quilting these lines an inch apart. And then what I'll do is where the straight lines go down the quilt where I joined the blocks, I will do a straight line stitch in the ditch on those. This particular batting that I'm using, I have never used it before. And to me, it seems heavier. It even seems when you have it in your hands, it feels a little, it just feels different. I'm used to the Warm and Natural, and this particular one is a Pellin batting, and it is an 80-20, so 80% cotton, 20% polyester. I think that's how it goes. But I'm telling you guys, this quilt is heavy. I had my husband pick it up, and he says it's over 10 pounds, is what we're estimating. So yeah, I know some quilts can be even heavier than that, but I chose to make a larger quilt. I myself stand barefooted, 5'11". My husband's 6'3", and I'm just used to making large quilts because we're tall people. And I'm just, you know, it just naturally goes to my mind to make larger quilts. But this particular quilt will be little Luna's quilt. You saw her a minute ago, and you can see her right there, her little foot. So this is going to be her quilt. She absolutely loves this thing. But I just wanted to come and pop on and give you guys a little heads up about what was going on. I will take some pictures when I get it quilted. I've got 85 inches to go down the length of the quilt, and I will take some pictures and let you guys see those in the next update, or I'll just film it, one of the two, so you guys can see that. I've also kind of been away. I'm going to kind of update you on a few other things. I've been away from the channel a little bit with some health related things, and I'm just not going to discuss those here. I have there's a few things I can tell you. I'm having some issues with some medications, and we're kind of getting those figured out. I have an appointment coming up next week, next Wednesday, so some stuff will be figured out also then that I've been waiting for. And once that's all figured out and we get everything taken care of with the doctor's appointments, I'm going to be bringing you some more videos on some new subjects that I have. I've shared with you a little bit on some of the supplies I've purchased recently for those, and I'm hoping it's going to be a really fun project. And then we are still going to be working with Red Thread Quilt Company on the next project, but that one's going to be a little bit slower because there's so much with this particular pattern that I'm going to have to break it up into segments. So I will try to get everything figured out on that one. And we're going to, if I remember correctly, her and I talking about it, what we were going to do is there's several different components to the quilt, so it may be broke up into a 6 or 7 video project, because each technique and each segment in the quilt will require that. Because there are working with triangles, there's working with some angles, and I ended up actually having to purchase some, let me show you here. I had to purchase some 60-degree rulers. In her pattern, she has some rulers that she recommends in there, and I didn't really want to pay $30 for one ruler, so we are including these rulers into it, and we're going to show you that if you're on the budget side of quilting, you can use these rulers. I purchased these for a 3-piece set. They were, if I remember correctly, about $15, maybe a little less than that. When I do the videos, I will link those as well. Then you're also going to need a hexagon ruler. And this particular hexagon ruler is made by Easy Quilting. And I believe I bought mine at Joann's a long time ago. And I bought it because I was going to do some what was I going to do? I was just going to do a regular hexagon quilt on the machine, and the person that I was making the quilt for decided that they did not want that. So I bought the ruler, and I can actually use the ruler for when I do my English paper piecing, because I can cut my fabrics with this. I cut my templates for my English paper piecing on my Cricut cutting machine. So let me see what else is there that I need to let you guys know. I think that's it for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this video edited and up so you guys can see that, just so you guys can know what's going on, what to expect. But I'm really hoping that the other projects that I'm going to be working on with the Cricut machine and some other techniques that you can do it on Cricut machine, you can do them by hand. And I'm hoping that maybe some of the males who like to sew or who are into crafting and things like that might find some interest in the particular videos that I'm going to be showing. I think it's predominantly like a male related kind of crafting. So please, I'm kind of being stereotypical on that, and I don't mean to be, but it's really is kind of a male dominated kind of field, and there are women that are getting into it, and it's just something that I learned that I can do with the Cricut machine, and then branching out a little bit further, I can do some projects by hand. If you have seen those previous videos, you will know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to kind of disclose a lot right now because I want to kind of save it as a kind of like a surprise video. Okay guys, we're going to end this here. Again, thank you to all of you that have hit that subscribe button. I really, really do appreciate that you have taken the time to hit that button and that you watch my videos. So, okay guys, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button that lets you know when I do post new videos. I'm going to end here, and we'll see you all really soon. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.